Tracy here with BibleJournalingMinistries.com, and today I am here to review the 1 Year Chronicle Bible. This is the expression version by Tyndale, and this review was not sponsored. I did purchase this with my own money because one of our viewers wanted to see this Bible in the review. So I thought, why not go get one? I've always been curious about a chronological Bible because I do not have one, and this is my first. So I thought, why not go out and check it out and let you guys know what I think about it. This is by Tyndale. Like I said, it was published in October of 2016, and the retail price is $22.99. You often can get it on sale at Amazon. I will link below to our list of supplies, and if you go there, you'll be able to find the link for this. And it is very cool. It's a paperback version that I bought. Often you can get it for less than $16. I think I picked mine up for about $15. $15.63 or something. It comes just like this. It's got this little cover that you just pull off. So no box for gift giving, but it does have the little cover. So that might be helpful. Now this is a really pretty leaf design, but I also wanted to show you as well, and I'll kind of do a little bit of comparison, but there's a 1 Year Expressions Bible that I have done a review on, and then there's the Inspire Bible as well. And the reason why I have these all here is because they are also NLT versions, and the art is very similar across all of them. Actually, it's identical. So if you have this one, you pretty much have all the art. And then these two, these 1 Year Bibles, pulls some of the same art from the Inspire Bible. So if you have the Inspire Bible and you're looking for different art, these are not your jam. So let's go ahead and get started into the review. The 1 Year Chronological Bible, the size of this Bible, now I don't recommend that you actually buy this for your church copy because of the way it's set up, and I'll tell you a little bit more in just a second. But it appears to be about 7 inches wide and about, let's say, 8.5 inches in height. And then in depth, we've got it at about, let's see, looks like a little under 2 inches. So 1 inch, I don't know, it's a little under 2 inches basically. And the margins that you get to write in, those are about, let's see, from line to line, I'm about 1.75 inches. So that is the size. Let's look at the weight as well. My little machine here, my little scale. And let's get those units right on here. We're at about 3 pounds, 0.25. So yeah, about 3 pounds is how much this weighs. In terms of the actual binding, this is a paperback version of it. I did not buy the hardback. I don't plan on taking this around with me, only because it is chronological. And what I mean by chronological, if you've never had a chronological Bible, the way these are built, the way they're designed, is to put the events together. So for example, in your normal Bible here, let's say if we were looking at the Inspire Bible, you would have Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. You'd have the book of the Bible, Matthew, then the book of the Bible, Mark, and then the book of the Bible, Luke, and then John. However, in the chronological Bible, you're going to find all these books mixed together. So if you go to Matthew, you're going to have maybe some Matthew, and then you're going to have Luke in that pretty much next to, maybe in the next paragraph or in the next daily reading, because the book tries to put the events in order in which they occurred. So let me just kind of give you just a heads up on what that might look like. So for example, in your normal Bible, and maybe I'll just pull this one out too so we can see together what that would look like. Let me just get the index open for this. So here in the Inspire Bible, Genesis starts on page 3, and in the 1 Year Chronological Bible, Genesis starts on page 1, which is great. Okay, then it goes Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers. Okay, those are all the same. But then what we have is we have First Chronicles that starts on page 453 in the regular Inspired Bible. But in this Bible, which is chronological, First Chronicles will start on page 7. And the same thing like I was saying with the New Testament. So the New Testament, we have Matthew starting at page 1155, so 1155, and then Mark starts on 1202, and then Luke starts on 1229. But in the chronological Bible, because the events are happening all at the same time, the way this is structured, you'll have Matthew starting on 1299 page, and then Mark will start on 1298, Luke will start on 1298, and John will start on 1298. So those books are going to come together. Let me show you what that looks like. If I go to page 1298, so on page 1298, I'm on September 24th. I'm going to get Mark 1:1. I'm going to get Luke 1:1. I'm going to get John 1:1 through 1:1 through 18, and I guess Luke 1 through 4. And then we're going to keep going, and then we're going to go see Matthew is going to be Matthew chapter 1, 1 through 17, and then we're going to keep going. Then we're back to Luke chapter 3. So do you see it's all kind of in chronological order. And what is the value of this is that if you want to learn how to read the Bible in the way the events occurred, then you don't have to have a regular Bible and get a reading plan and then just, you have to go to Matthew, and then you have to go back to Mark, and then you have to go back, to Luke. And so that's the value of the chronological Bible, is that you don't have to keep flipping back and forth and getting all confused. Here, it's a very laid out, simplified approach to reading the Bible in a way in which the events actually occurred. In fact, they have a timeline as well whenever they could figure out that timeline. So you'll see here that, well, there's some that are undated, obviously, but then we go to Abraham's birth, and that's 2166 or 2000 BC. Then they have the call of Abraham. That's 2091 or 1925. Then they say, let's find one find a different one too, so we can just see. So John the Baptist and Jesus' birth, 6 or 4 BC. Wise men visit Jesus, 401 BC. So you can see they're doing the best job that they can, as best as they can, to kind of date things in a chronological order. And that's the idea of using a chronological Bible. Now, if you've never read the Bible before, I would recommend that you pick up a standard Bible first. So reading the chronological Bible is awesome, but I think it would be best, at least in my personal opinion. Now, you can do whatever the Spirit moves you to do. Nobody's telling what you to do. You own yourself. But you can pick this up and read it in a year and really understand the events in a good timeline. So I recommend, if you've never picked up the Bible before and this is your first time, I pray for you, and I'm so excited for you. But you might want to start out with like a regular Bible first, and then after you're done reading this, then go back and say, okay, now that I'm done reading that one, now I'll read this one in chronological order. But that way you just kind of get a feel for the normal Bible, and you don't get confused if, let's say, you're going to church and let's say you bought this one and it was the only one you had, and then you go to church and your pastor says, open up to Matthew chapter 1. Well, you're going to open this up, and where's Matthew? Like, you have no idea here. You actually are going to have to go to the back of here, and you're going to have to go find the scripture index, which is awesome that they have it, and you're going to have to look to see where's Matthew chapter 1. By the time you find Matthew chapter 1, he's already into, Luke. So that's why I don't recommend this as your first Bible or as a Bible that you take with you to church. So let's go. I would definitely recommend that you take something like a normal standard Bible or something like this, where it's in the normal order. so you're not trying to find out where everything is. So let's just kind of dive deep into what this looks like. You've got your standard cover to this. That would be great for gift giving. Make sure that you put, you know, who it's from. A little message to them would be great as well if you're giving this away. This has the 1-year design on it. Very beautiful butterflies. Absolutely gorgeous. Just love this. The paper is your standard Bible paper. It does appear just, you know, I don't know. It appears to be a little bit thicker than standard Bible pages, but definitely not as thick as the illustrating Bible. This one is, you know, a standard journaling Bible, so I wouldn't give it any extra points for page thickness. It gives you a little bit about the introduction and how it's set up so that you know. It's got some general timelines as well, which is awesome. You can get a little feel for that. I highly recommend that you go through the timeline so that you can see how things happened before you actually dive deep into it. This just gives you an overhead and kind of prepares your brain for learning and for understanding what you're about to read. Then we have the beginning pages of the books of the Bible here. So for example, if you want to know where Matthew starts, you can go to 1299. If you want to know where Job starts, you're going to go to page 72. So that's how, that's where the first instance of that book is. Now, if you want to know where a specific verse is, you have to go to the scripture index, and that's in the back, and I'll show that to you in just a minute. There's a little note to the readers here, introduction to the NLT version. Again, this is a thought for thought translation. It's not paraphrased, but it is thought for thought. Some footnotes. It tells you a little bit about the team. It's a large team that has to do something like this. I have a lot of respect for those that actually take the Bible and try to translate it in a way that makes people like me excited to read the Bible. Then you have your weights, your lengths, your capacity, your tables of weights and measurements, and then you get into January 1st. And so every day, beginning in January 1st, you're going to read whatever the scripture is. So here we're going to start in Genesis 1, and then we'll end that day. Let's see, when do we get to January 2? So that the end of that day ends right before Genesis 4:1, and that's that would be January 2. That's when you start January 2. And then they talk about Cain, Abel, and Seth in January 2. And so every day you're just going to read some more. And then you're just going to keep going until the end of the year. So let's just keep going. There's no break between the Old Testament and the New Testament that you would see in a normal Bible, obviously, because this is just our chronological Bible. And let's look at this as it goes to the end. Let's see that last page here. On December 31st, you will end the year in Revelations 22, 7 through 21. What a good way to end the year. How fun. Revelations is an amazing book. I hope you read it. All right. The next thing is the daily reading guide. So now that I've kind of shared like the whole year, you have your daily reading guide. Just kind of shows you each day what you're going to be reading, so you can see the different books of the Bible that you're going to be engaged with a daily reading guide. I'm definitely feeling like this is my book for next year. Then you have your scripture index like I was talking about earlier. So if you do happen to have this Bible and it is the one that you take to Bible study or to church, and they say turn to Exodus chapter 19 verse 2, then you're going to have to go to the scripture index. You're going to say Exodus, 19 chapter 2 is going to be on page 150, and then you're going to come over here, flip page 150 just to kind of follow along. So that is what the scripture index is going to be useful for. So they have really done a good job on the index, so you're able to find where everything is. After that, you get a blank page. Blank pages are always good for testing out Bible journaling supplies. And then you get your hard cover backing at the end. In terms of binding, this thing is binded pretty good. It is a standard paperback book, but it is binded pretty good. It's not like the pages are going to fall out on you. They did a good job. The book actually does lay flat, so it's really nice for Bible journaling, and the margins are quite large. Even though I did do the measurement, for the most part, you're usually, especially on the right side of the page, because some of these won't extend, some of these scriptures won't extend to the end. You're going to get more space for Bible journaling. So for those of you guys who like that more space, you're going to be more lucky on the right hand side than you are on the left hand side of the page. Now, in terms of the actual art that's in this book, the art that's in this book does come out of or is identical to this book, which is the Inspired Bible. So if I go here and I open up Esther, okay, so we have Esther here. If I go here to Esther, you're going to find the identical art, okay? So if you have this Bible and then you have this Bible, you might be a little bit frustrated with having the same thing to do. So if you do have it, you don't want to do the same coloring again, feel free just to gesso over this. This is fine. You can even put a sticker over that. That's fine. Now I also wanted to show you that the 1 Year Expressions Bible, this one is not chronological. It's 1 year, and this actual, I do have another video where I'll link up to so you can see this one if you want to know what this one's about. But this one does a combination of the New Testament and Old Testament together throughout the year, but it's not chronological. It's different. So this one, if I were to look at what they gave us for Esther, it's not. I did not find this art in Esther in the Chronological Bible. So these two Bibles are different. There is less art in these two Bibles than this one here, which is the Inspired Bible. But you can see that with the Inspired Bible, you do have the same art. So what I think they did was, I think they pulled art from this copy and put it into each of these books. Now, if you don't have this one, then you might be fine. I'm not going to make any promises, but you might be fine having different art in both of these. So, to each his own. And I hope you'll check out the review. I do have a review on this one, and I do have a review on the Inspired Bible as well. Now, all in all, I just think this is a great book to have on your nightstand. To open up this book at the beginning of the year, which is what I think I'll do. I think this year I used the U Bible app, which was awesome, and that's really great, especially if I wake up and it's still dark and I don't want to actually move. So I'll just grab my phone and start reading the Bible off my phone. Yeah. But for this one, I think it'd be fun to have it by my bed and use this next year and really have a chance, because I really haven't had a chance to go through the Bible in the way in which the events occurred. I think it would be a really fun and interesting way to go through the Bible. In terms of text size, it's one thing that I didn't really share with you. I don't know what the font point is on this, but I can tell you that it's quite large compared to the Inspired Bible. The Inspired Bible is pretty, the font is pretty, is little, and it does appear to be either the same or slightly larger than this one, which is the 1 Year Expressions Bible. It's probably the same. Yeah, it's the same point size as this one, but it is bigger point size. Definitely the font is bigger here than it is here, but I wouldn't call it a large print Bible by any means. Or it's definitely, but it's just bigger than the font is bigger than the other. So I hope that this review was helpful to you, and please leave a comment if you have any questions. If you have this Bible and you love it, let me know in the comments below. If you have this Bible and you hate it, put it in the comments too. I'd love to know what you didn't like about it as well. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We have a lot of fun videos on our channel and coming soon, and I would love, love, love to share them with you. I hope you have a fabulous day, and we'll talk to you soon. Goodbye!